today.
It's okay, I'll call the police.
Although the shop's manager had been pre-warned, the shop assistants had no idea what we were doing. So to avoid the police being called, I gave the TV back to its rightful owners.
I was walking down the street and I saw quite a nice television that I liked in that shop, and I thought I'd pick it up and get it.
I saw a man in front with a TV there, and he happened to sort of be fiddling with it, looking at it. Before I could ask him for help, he had disconnected everything from the TV, and he just walked out.
Thank you very much. And we have our shoplifter somewhere at the back, so feel free to chat to him later. The other element of the CIA's wasted psychic research was remote viewing. And remote viewing is the ability to see and describe an object that actually is completely hidden. And it was of interest to the CIA because to them it meant that they might be able to read a secret document that's locked into a box. Or even, as was also claimed, to be able to see through someone else's eyes. So you could be in Washington and you could be looking through the eyes of a government minister in Russia and describe what it was that he's looking at. Now, it's also of great interest to me because, of course, I know I can sort of approximate that kind of effect, but without using psychic ability. So in researching this, I came across this next guy that I want to introduce you to. He is probably the world's foremost expert on remote viewing. He does it himself, he trains people in it, and he absolutely claims that he can look through somebody else's eyes and describe what it is that they're looking at. So we flew him over, we asked him to demonstrate, and I was really intrigued to see what the results were. We've come to a quiet part of London to meet with a man called Dr. Carr. He believes he can see places and objects across space and time, and also says he has the extraordinary ability to enter the mind of another human being using his skill of remote viewing. Dr. Carr, thank you so much for flying over to be with us today. Looking into remote viewing, your name has come up again and again and again, so perhaps you just talk us through your credentials and what it is that you do.
I have a private practice as a psychologist, and I also teach remote viewing, including the military remote viewers. There's still a debate going on whether remote viewing is real or not. I think anyone who does his homework will find out that there is ample evidence to support it.
So, under controlled conditions, we invited Dr. Carr to take part in an experiment. Right now, somewhere across town, is Lauren. I've asked her to choose a location and go there and not tell me anything about it. Once Lauren has arrived, she will be asked to call me so Dr. Carr can begin the lengthy process of filling out over 100 pages of information that he will receive during the remote viewing process. Here we are. Here she is. Lovely ringtone. Hello, is that Lauren?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Hello, it's Derren. So you've arrived at your location. Thank you, Lauren. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go, she's there. Over to you. Neither Dr. Carr nor I have any idea where Lauren is, and now that she's arrived, Dr. Carr will attempt to see through her eyes and discover her location. To do this, he begins a process of filling out over 100 pages of information with drawings and words that he believes he's receiving from Lauren.
Arch, steps, temple, downstairs, garden, fence, chain, gazing, a circular sense of stones on top of each other, sense of looking
This
out.
leads to Dr. Carr entering her body in an act he calls blending.
I'm going to try to blend with Lauren a little bit right now. One of the ways I can do it, I can put Lauren in front of me and I can step inside her body and describe what I see. I feel like I'm sitting, my legs are dangling a little bit. It's almost like I can see a boat too from where I am too. I want to do that for a second. I may be way off.
So, after an hour and a half of writing hundreds of words and drawings and having entered Lauren's body, Dr. Carr has arrived at what he believes is a series of possible images of Lauren's location.
Okay.
Wow. What a marathon. So let's invite her back and find out where she's been. Right, your time is up. You can now stop. You can now stop staring. Thank you very much for this. I'd like you to head back. Hello. Please sit yourself down. Could you read to Lauren those final pages that were sort of felt like a summation?
Well, also I can just summarize. There seemed to be almost maybe a church-like or something that was relaxing about it there, and perhaps a garden nearby, or possibly. Yeah, old brick stones, some kind of tower, also a sense of water or fountain or some kind of movement, also art. People could go inside. It was inviting.
I think we're ready to see what it is. Let's have a look then.
It's actually a fountain.
Okay, so
and a
art.
sculpture, yeah.
Okay.
The horses of Helios.
Yeah, I'm not saying I totally nailed it.
I saw actually in one of your drawings there's like 4 objects.
So this might be my closest representation, even though it's very fuzzy. But the description is correct in our round sculpture, water.
Do you feel 50-50? Do you feel almost 100%?
I'd say it was over 50%.
Over 50%? As a where? But give it a percentage.
No, like 55-60, because I think some key information was picked out.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Intriguing, maybe plausible, perhaps. Of course you are seeing an edited version there. You are seeing the version that a TV program would show you when they are showing somebody demonstrating psychic ability. I, of course, was sat there for the whole hour and a half and filling out 100 sheets of paper, and I was a bit more sceptical. So what I wanted to do is take an objective viewpoint and see how accurate he really was. So first of all, the picture that he showed at the end, he actually showed about five pictures in the end he came up with, and they're all fairly ambiguous, and you can draw your own conclusions from that. And the one picture he did pick out there, which was this one, kind of looks maybe a little bit like the fountain, but of course he focused on that one after Lauren had told him what it was that she was looking at. In terms of what he said, the descriptions that he gave, to his credit, he did say fountain-like. That's something he did say once during the process. And also 6 times, he said, and 6 was the largest number of times he gave any specific description, he did say wet. But also 6 times, he said boat-like and church-like, which kind of would be wrong. And when you go back over the hour and a half and pull out all the specific descriptions that he said, you realise that it kind of covers everything. That you could take any landmark in London or any other historic city and you could kind of make it fit. Now, this is no reflection on Dr. Carr. He's a very nice chap. I'm sure he's very sincere, which is why I've taken this and I've formed from it my own version of remote viewing, which I'm going to be doing later on in this programme, and I hope, with much, much clearer results. Well, the drawings are being sorted, and we've got the ones over here on this table that have been done this evening, and on this table are the drawings that were left in the glass box by visitors to the museum. And everything is also being overseen by the staff and the scientists at the museum, just to make sure that everything is genuinely fair and square. Now, once we've filtered out the cocks, the question will be, will the pictures that have been drawn here this evening, and those drawn by visitors to the museum, and those drawn by you at home, bear any relation to what Katie drew? We'll find out very soon. For the first time on television, we are conducting a nationwide remote viewing experiment to see if you can sense what image or design is behind that newspaper. For a week, people have left their guesses here in the Science Museum. This evening, you at home have put yourselves to the test, trying to see through the eyes of our curator, along with a crowd here in the museum. So I've asked a museum scientist to have a look and pick out any drawings that seem to be coming up more than the others. So, Rob, will you join us for a second and tell us what you found? First of all, what's your job here? You are the...
I'm an assistant curator of technology.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you. I guess that's why you don't have to wear the orange T-shirt with the others. So what have you got there, Rob? What are the ones that are coming up more than others?
Well, we've got vehicles, particularly trains.
There's a train there, quite nicely drawn. Okay.
Quite a few concentric circles.
Yes, I was going to say spirals. Concentric circles.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Quite a few that look a little bit like Stonehenge.
You're getting quite a lot of these?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, out of all the animals, mostly horses.
So you're getting quite I expect a few animals, but horses?
Mostly horses.
Okay, I'd imagine dogs and cats would be. Are you getting a lot of dogs and cats as well?
No, mostly horses.
Mostly horses. Now, now these are fairly unusual in terms of what I'm...